Mhm.
Did I see something about the?
Yes, we do. Voice vote. Yeah.
I'd go through and circle them so I'd remember who it is.
It's just my job. It's just my job to keep him on the right page.
Yes.
That's my job. Keep him on the right page. I can't handle what you do. I did not do a good job.
It's 5:30. I'm going to call the meeting to order.
Mayor Stover,
Here.
Vice Mayor Lundgren,
Here.
Commissioner Beeson,
Here.
Commissioner Calhoun,
Here.
Commissioner Tweedy.
All those who'd like to participate, please stand for the prayer and pledge of allegiance.
We'll have prayer led by Samuel Brand with Sacred Heart.
In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen. From the prophet Isaiah, if you remove from your midst all oppression, false accusation, and malice speech, if you bestow your bread on the hungry and satisfy the afflicted, then light shall rise for you in the darkness, and the gloom shall become for you like midday. Then the Lord will guide you always, and give you plenty even on the parched earth. Let us pray. Blessed are you, Lord God of mercy, who through your Son gave us a marvelous example of charity and the great commandment of love of neighbor. Send down your blessings upon this gathering of your servants, who so generously devote themselves to helping others. When they are called on in times of need, let them faithfully serve you in each other. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Are there any additions or deletions to the?
Yes, Mayor, we need to add under section 6, new business, city manager department, add item number 5. It is a resolution authorizing the city of Arkansas City to approve the professional service agreement with LK Architecture for professional design, construction, administration, and inspection services associated with the Wilson Park Playground, CBDG project number 25-PF-027, and authorize the city manager to execute the agreement on behalf of the city for an amount not to exceed $88,000.
Do we approve the addition?
Second. Carries. 4.
Approve the agenda as amended.
I'll second. Approve the agenda as amended. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Moving on. Awards and proclamations. We're going to proclaim May 7th, 2026 as Day of Prayer in Arkansas City. And then May 3rd through the 10th, 2026 as National Music Week in Arkansas City. Recognition of visitors and staff.
Recognize Master Police Officer Shanice McIntosh for performing life-saving events. A life-saving event.
Honorable Mayor and City Commissioners, thank you for this opportunity to recognize the outstanding work by one of our officers. I have 2 things to read, something just as an introduction as to the event so you understand, and then another one. I'll explain it here in just a minute. On February 24th, 2026 at 9:51 p.m., Mark City officers were dispatched to a residence in reference to a stabbing. Cali County Dispatch advised that a male subject had possibly stabbed himself. Master Police Officer Shanice McIntosh arrived and found a male subject lying on the ground in the driveway next to a vehicle. The male subject was still coherent and had a stab wound to his upper thigh area. The wound was bleeding profusely. MPO McIntosh took action by placing a tourniquet over the male's right leg and moved it up to his upper thigh. The subject was then going in and out of consciousness. EMS had staged nearby and was then requested to respond to the scene. Park City EMS staff arrived and transported the male subject to South Central Kansas Medical Center, where he was later flown to St. Francis Hospital and remained for several days until he was released and had recovered. That's the background. And then I wanted to read a note or letter from staff at the hospital. A particular registered nurse thought it was important to recognize Shanice for her work, and she sent me the following letter. Officer Shanice of ACPD had demonstrated extraordinary courage and professionalism in a moment where every second counted. Her actions were not just helpful, they were imperative in saving a person's life. Upon arriving on scene, Shanice immediately recognized the severity of the situation. Faced with a patient suffering from life-threatening blood loss, she did not hesitate. Her proactive, rapid assessment and decisive response set the tone for everything that followed. Rather than waiting for additional medical personnel, she relied on her training, remained calm under pressure, and took immediate action. Understanding that uncontrolled bleeding can become fatal within minutes, Officer Shanice quickly and correctly applied a tourniquet. That intervention was critical. By effectively controlling the hemorrhage, she stabilized the patient long enough for advanced medical care to arrive. In traumatic emergency, the difference between life and death often hinges on early bleeding control, and her swift application of the tourniquet quite literally bought the patient the time needed to survive. Her composure, situational awareness, and willingness to act without hesitation exemplify the highest standards of public service. Officer Shanice's decisive intervention not only reflects on her training and preparedness, but also her deep commitment to protecting and preserving life. Because of the quick thinking and immediate action, a life was saved. Her response serves as a powerful reminder of how critical proactive policing and emergency readiness are in a moment of crisis. So we'd like to thank Shanice tonight for her work.
Congratulations. Thank you.
I did have gloves on. Thank you.
Cleared out half the room.
Yeah.
Number 4, consent agenda.
Item number 1 is to approve the March 3rd, 2026 regular meeting minutes as written. And item number 2 is rectify Mayor Tad Stover's appointment of Victoria Berry to the Northwest Community Center Advisory Board.
I move that we accept the consent agenda as written.
Second.
A motion, a second to approve the consent agenda. No further discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Number 5, new business. City Manager Department.
Item number 1 is a resolution authorizing the City of Arkansas City to enter into an agreement with Adrian Essner, transferring 717 South B Street to the Arkansas City Land Bank and forgiving special assessments in the amount of $1,089.86.
That's 11,000.
Oh, sorry, 11,000.
Yeah, 11,000. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I like the first one.
Thank you.
Oh, I don't know what you said either. But. So we've done something like this before. In this case, the the current owner purchased the property at 717 South B at the tax sale. And he did not know at the time when he purchased it that there were special assessments on the property in the amount of a little over $11,000. So what we've done in the past and what is being proposed tonight would be to have him surrender the property to the land bank in exchange for forgiving the special assessment. So it wasn't an obligation for him. And we have attached an agreement and a deed that would be used in that process.
So he wants to walk away from the property, correct?
Essentially, that's what
What he purchased the property for, do you know?
the $100. So he's here too, if you have a question.
You were never notified of the lien or anything?
At the auction, they had made some announcements on other special assessments. And I was under the assumption that that was part of the auction proceeding, was that these special assessments would be announced, but on this one, they were not. And so I bought it for $100 and had no idea. And I just like to give it to the city.
Is this what we want to discuss? I have questions on it. When I first saw this, I didn't think all that much about it and ready to move forward. As I was driving around all weekend thinking about it, I got asking myself, what constitutes a good deal and a bad deal? And a good deal is a good buyer, a good seller, and a good product. And a bad deal is any one of those not adding up. And this ended up being a bad deal. I don't know the details of what the sheriff said. I do know, and I've asked Josh, did we have a lien on that property? Now, I haven't officially heard back yes, but I do have documentation here that shows that we do. So there was a lien. It might not have been mentioned at the sale. I don't know the legalities of that at the sheriff's level, but when you buy a piece of property, I think one needs to do due diligence. This is tax information that is on file at the courthouse in the county. I understand that in the long run, it can benefit the city probably by us having it and doing something with it. And I see both sides of that. But I do want to mention where I struggled on this is whatever decision we make tonight isn't affected by the past. The past is the past. This commission, whatever decision we make tonight, sets precedent for the future. That's all I'm wanting to go on record and make sure we understand. But I guess I deal with facts, and I got a gentleman, so I have no reason to question his word, but all I have is his word. So I don't have any tape or anything showing any different. But I struggle with it because I think due diligence needs to be made before you go buy something. That's just my opinion. I'm pretty neutral on the whole thing, but it just kind of shocked me that something like that would sneak through the grates, I guess is what I'm getting at. Any comments on that?
Larry, with the sheriff's cell, is it their responsibility to find that out?
Well,
That, or how does that work?
like I said, like he said, we weren't there. But we might be missing the greater point here is that whether it's due diligence or whether it's not, and what the sheriff did or what he didn't, we're here today.
Right.
And
Absolutely.
it is what it is. And not everyone has the same level of knowing how to approach those things. So, this is a situation we're just asking for, hey, this isn't a good deal. I would not have entered into this deal. But now what the sheriff, what his responsibility would be, I don't think you're going to be able to say that his responsibility would have any monetary value to it.
Right.
If that's what you're getting at. Can we go back to
No.
that? No.
Wouldn't think there would be.
One thing I would say is I agree with Steve. Look into it, but I do think that is it Mr. Essinger? Mr. Essinger's. It could be a $11,000 mistake to learn from. He's still making a small. He's still learning. It's still going to cost him $100 and his time and having to come here. So and the city will be able to do something with it. And I know that the money that was put on it was put there to recoup what we had put in when the city had to tear down the structure that was previously there. So we were just trying to recoup some of our money there as well. So I would agree with.
So then when we sell it again, does that $11,000 come up?
When it, go ahead.
So usually at the land bank meeting, when I bring up somebody that's purchasing it, I will note what sort of expenses that we had on it. So it is something at that time of sale, it could be addressed. Whether you wanted to actually get the entire $11,000, that would be up for discussion based on whatever the applicant was wanting to do with the property really. when it comes down to it.
One
But
of
yes,
the-
that
one
would
of
be
the-
brought up.
Yeah, and one of the benefits of the land bank is that assessments like this are removed when they go to the land bank.
So yeah, we wouldn't owe it anyways, because we've
Yeah.
forgiven ourselves, but yeah, the assessments go away when we take a hold of it.
So when this comes up again, this will come up through us instead of at an auction. Is that correct?
Yeah, it'll be on his land bank list.
And so the questions can be, okay, what's the appraised value? What's it worth?
Right.
We owe in
We can
this.
make that decision.
Here's what we think a good deal is, and then everybody be aware of it at the time.
And as a land bank, then we have
Right.
the ability to discuss what that deal needs to look like.
Sure.
Here's a deal that was bought basically from a third party. And, you know, normally you would buy through a realtor or buy through, or check with the titling company. You can do that as well. But when you buy from a third party, you assume those risks. You don't do that research. So here, I'm just simply stating, and I'm not saying no to this. I'm just simply stating that it just, as I'm driving around, it just seemed odd to me that the research wasn't done up to that point. I support, you know, what you guys say. I'm staying neutral on it, but I just think that what we decide is, let's just be thankful there's not another digit on this.
Sure.
See what I'm saying? And for the future, because it's the same principles. It's just another digit, right? So I could stomach 11 grand. I'd struggle with 111,000. See what I'm saying? And
Dig deeper in your pocket.
well, yeah, or I'll borrow yours.
Yeah,
But that's simply my point. The decision we make here, we have to be willing to support that in the future. That's all I'm getting at.
Did you have some purpose for buying this other than you thought it was?
Yeah, I bought another lot as well. I was just looking for a place to potentially build a small modest house in the future.
Okay, let me,
It is a good lot. It's a good part of town.
let me ask you this. Rather than give property back to the city, would you be willing to do $3,000 on it to cover most of our expense? To keep the property for yourself?
Potentially, I prefer to just be free of it and give it to the city to manage. I could be, you know, that could be a possibility.
Shall I clarify where you got the 3,000 number?
Yeah.
Clarify that, yeah.
So this was a city demolition. And so it was city crews used, city equipment used in it. And it uses the FEMA rates that we would charge for that kind of project. The only direct cost that the city had was to the landfill. And that was in the amount of it's a little over 3,000. It was 3,054.86 was what the actual direct cost. Now, certainly, yes, we did use city equipment. We did use city time. So there's a reason. That's why we assessed it for that amount. Just to clarify.
See, the argument comes is if we own it back, you look at what its value is to sell. If someone wanted to build a home, what's that piece of property worth, right? Well, if it only brings 3,000 or 3,500, then if he's still going to build a home, still a good buy, you know. And that's where the city has an issue, and we're willing to work with the citizen, and the citizen has an issue. At least the city's willing to work with them. And so that's what I was getting at, is there that possibility? And I think that's a great point, Charles, to bring up, because I was thinking the same thing myself. But if you're going to build a home, 3,000, I don't know where you're going to buy a piece of property for 3,000 that's cleaned up, ready to roll. But that's an option too. And that's what I'm saying. When they buy it from the land bank, it becomes a negotiation situation where we're all involved and we can help make those decisions. In this case, we're at the mercy of, it was a third party sale. We don't know what was done. And honestly, the citizens of Arc City are the ones picking the ticket up on it. So, and that's what we're here for. So, like I said, I struggle on the due diligence, not upset at it, angry at it or anything like that. I just feel more needed to be done. So I think that's a great offer. I mean, $3,000, that's probably all we're going to be able to get for it at a land bank, right? Give or take. I don't know. So I think that would definitely be something to consider. So that being said, I hate to put him on the spot because that's a big decision, but we could table it and let him at least think about that a little bit and us think about it and get back with him on that. Would that be fair?
Josh, I got one question. So how many of these a year go to an auction instead of going to the land bank? 'Cause in my thought, go ahead, Rick.
Well, any of them, when they're delinquent on their taxes, go to a tax sale.
Okay, so it's not something that automatically goes to the land bank.
Right.
Yeah, we don't have an arrangement like that.
And then the other aspect to it is we basically send those assessments in once a year. So what's the time frame? October?
It's usually towards the September, October timeframe.
And so I don't know what the timing of that particular sale was versus when those assessments were sent in, but so there could have been some.
What, do you remember the date of the sale?
I don't recall exactly. I think it was September.
Okay, so the official special assessment may not have been applied until after that tax sale, which is where that problem actually came from. I think what typically happens when they do an announcement is that it's been assessed. And so it's a matter of public record. And that's probably why this particular one was not announced.
And that sheds light differently. If there's a,
Yes.
if there's a potential situation that he wouldn't have been able to have that information, I'm a completely different person on this.
However, what's supposed to happen is that they are supposed to call the city and make sure that there's nothing that's pending. That's still part of the due diligence process. Because it was already billed, I forget. January 30th of 2025, the bill was sent. And so we'd already generated the cost against the property at that point.
I'll make a motion. Do you need a motion? I would make a motion that we, we relieve it with an offer to him to be able to buy it at 3,000. Can we do such a thing like that and leave that open for him to make that decision?
That way it doesn't have to come back here.
Doesn't have to come back here.
If he says, yeah, I'll take it, great.
The
If no,
assessment, I think, has to be paid full or forgiven to the land bank. I don't think we can make a deal on the percentage of the
that's what I'm
assessment.
saying.
once
It's got to go to
been-
the land bank. And then if he was
once it's
interested in getting it from the land bank, he could come to it for 3,000.
Yeah.
Maybe that's how you should approach it.
Give me time to think about it.
But I think that's what you have to do is what Randy's saying. It has to
Yeah.
be given back.
I'm just saying you got two parties. If somehow we can get together with some kind of an agreement, that starts making a good deal rather than a bad deal, is all I'm getting at. So, I don't know how to word it or what we can do, but is that a thought process?
No, I think from what they're saying is
We have to put it in the.
we have to accept it right now.
Right.
Well, no, I'm not saying to do it right now. You
Right.
can take some time to work out a solution.
We just to table it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it'd be better to table it and that way everything's still open.
Mhm.
If you make a move now, then one part or the other may not have the same
Well,
ability to negotiate.
there's an advantage, there's an
Same
advantage,
incentive.
there's an advantage to tabling it because A, we stand to be better than $11,000 hit. And B, if he is going to build a home and he can make the arrangements on 3,000, it's probably still a pretty good buy at $3,000 and it allows him to move forward with his process, right? So is that a motion? Is that a motion to table it?
Yeah.
Motion table, I second it.
Motion is second to table the resolution that was read. Any further discussion?
How much time do we want to give him?
Good point. Can you make a decision on this in 30 days?
Yeah,
We'll probably have to work
We'll go
together.
forward with it.
Yeah.
Figure out what that, how that's done.
Did I cause a problem? No. I just look, no.
No, there's a solution. It's just figuring out how to.
Right, right.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Number 2,
A resolution authorizing the city of Arkansas City to approve the Cowley County Humane Society HVAC replacement project consisting of the base bid and alternate number 1 in the amount of $59,977 plus applicable sales tax, with project costs shared equally between the city of Arkansas City and the city of Winfield, each paying 50% of the total project cost.
Yeah, so this is a ventilation, heating and air conditioning unit, and it's goes back to when the building was built. So it's old. It gave up over the winter and the heater quit working. So they were using space heaters and things like that to keep the kennel area warm. But so the $44,539 is to replace that complete unit, the ventilation, the heat and air, and then where it is located at is right at where there's, of course, the building roof comes down and the drainage is off of it. And then there's kind of an outdoor big awning over some outdoor kennels, and that drains on it. So you've got all the rainwater and stuff like that coming onto the unit during rain. And then it also is in an area when they wash out the outside kennels, a lot of the dirty water and stuff from that gets around that. And so it gets sucked into the building. So that $15,000, $15,438 is to relocate that unit from that location to a location that is not acceptable to the kennel wash off and be covered in rain and stuff like that all the time. So that's basically what it amounts to. And our half of it would be $28,988.50.
Winfield pays the other half.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
This isn't budgeted, this is kind of just something that came up.
yeah, it came up, and so we have the funds available. It's in the general fund. We have some money in the general fund under commission and contributions. So, but yeah, the city of Winfield and the city of our city, we co-own the building.
In the county.
County does not. No,
Well, it's in the county though.
it's at Strotherfield.
Which is in the county.
But right now, currently the AC unit, that's inoperable.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
My point is there could be a third person that could help out with this since we're helping out the county.
Yeah, but they're not party to the Humane Society at all. It's the two cities that own the building, and then as far as operations, the two cities and the Humane Society organization kind of share in thirds of the operational costs. So.
I'll move that we approve the resolution as presented.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion?
Steve, do we get calls from the county wanting us to send a dog catcher out? Do you keep track of them?
It's not real often, but maybe one case.
Okay.
Any further discussion? Not all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Number 3.
Hold on, I'm sorry. Yep. Anything happens out at IXL though, do we go out and take care of that? Is it a sheriff? Because I do see, get your dog out of my yard on the neighbors of IXL all the time. So,
Yeah. If you don't, I'm gonna shoot it.
yeah, I see that a lot. So,
Move on to number 3.
Please, please.
A resolution authorizing the city of Arkansas City to approve the agreement for professional administrative services between the city of Arkansas City and Ransom Financial Group LLC for administration and community development block grant project number 25-PF-027 pertaining to the Wilson Park Playground equipment with compensation not to exceed $35,000 and authorize the mayor and city clerk to execute the agreement.
Okay, so with the CBDG grant, we need to have a grant administrator to help us navigate the paperwork and make sure that we have everything kind of rolling on time and doing what we need to do. CBDG grants, we have a lot of paperwork, and then there's also a lot of audit requirements on the back end. So it's very important we have this assistance. So Ransom Financial has been very good at helping with these in the past, and so this is the max, like $35,000. They provide that service for this size of grant. So
Is that, and that's paid for with the grant, or is that?
it is paid for with the grant funds. Yes,
Okay.
It's part of the budget of the grant.
They put all that in there to try to get the grant take for us. I move to accept the resolution as written.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to approve the resolution as presented. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Number 4,
A resolution authorizing the city of Arkansas City to approve the construction contract agreement with Multisports LLC in the amount of $235,500 for construction of the Wilson Park pickleball courts, and authorize the city manager and city clerk to execute the agreement and any related documents necessary to complete the project.
Okay, so the funding's in place. We have the Land Water Conservation Fund grant. It's, I can't remember the exact number, $115,000. It's changed. And then the group, the Ark City Pickleball Group, has a fund at the Legacy Foundation, and they have $120,271 in there that's available. So we have a full amount of funding plus a few dollars left. So we are good to go. This is, we did an RFP for this project, and this was the low bid. And so it's time to get started on that. April 15th is the start date. If you guys approve the contract tonight, and I think everything's in place and ready to go. So we just need contract.
Just for the Courier Traveler, this 235 is a grant and donations, no city funding off of it.
Correct.
And you say the funding's in, so they were waiting on a couple grand that all got put together?
Yeah,
And the
yeah.
pledges
Yeah,
are
they had some
legit?
pledges they were waiting on, but that's in now. They got what they need.
Okay.
So we're all good.
Do we have a date on construction yet?
April.
April 1st.
I don't have an end date. We gave them in the contractors. They have 6 weeks to commit or complete it,
Weather permitting.
weather permitting. So yeah,
In July.
yeah. But it'll be done well before that. It shouldn't take them long.
I move to accept the resolution as written.
got a motion and a second to approve the resolution that was presented. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Number 5.
A resolution authorizing the city of Arkansas City to approve the professional services agreement with LK Architecture Incorporated for professional design, construction, administration, and inspection services associated with the Wilson Park Playground CBDG project number 25-PF-027, and authorize the city manager to execute the agreement on behalf of the city in the amount not to exceed, I need to take that out, $88,000.
So this agreement again is this is back on the CBDG grant for the playground equipment. Sorry, we kind of bounced around on that. But this is the architectural agreement that we have with them for design. And they have a whole list of things that they provide for us in far as construction and inspection and design and all that. So it's $88,000 for their services. That's the design, inspection, and all the things they do along with that. And it again is part of the budget of the grant, so it's rolled up into the grant. So the funding we have in place from the grant and the matching funds all cover this. So
I'll make a motion that we approve the resolution as presented.
Second, you got it. You can have it.
A motion and a second for the resolution. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Just throw a curveball.
Environmental Services Department.
A resolution authorizing the city of Arkansas City to accept the labor and materials supplied by Lane Christensen Company for the rehabilitation of well 10 in the amount of $44,048.
Evening, Honorable Mayor and members of the commission. This item is for the rehabilitation of well 10 using Lane. This project has already been completed. What had happened here was that our water plant staff had noticed that the well had suffered a loss in flow. They went out, we called Lane, they came down, they investigated the motor and the shaft. They determined it might be the screen. They cleaned the well up for us. It wasn't. It was the bottom had fallen out, which was concrete. They reconcreted the bottom, rehabilitated all the equipment, and put it back in, and it's pumping better than probably when it was new, so, which is good.
And that concrete's from 1950?
Believe, yeah, in the 50s or 60s that well was built, so it's lasted quite a while already. Any questions?
None?
I move we pass the resolution authorizing it.
Second.
A motion and a second. Approve the resolution as presented. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Thank you all.
Cheapest we got out of him.
Yeah.
Huh?
That's the cheapest we got out of him.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I okay this one easy. It's the cheapest he's ever been, man. I'm like,
Did you notice?
we got out easy on that one.
Kyle, did you notice it only took him about 12 weeks for me to give you a hard time every time you came out? Now I just got to sit back and watch them do it.
Yeah.
I appreciate it every time. Get the heat off my back.
Fire EMS Department.
All right. This is a resolution authorizing the city of Arkansas City to execute a design build agreement with Crosslane Construction Company Incorporated for pre-construction and design services of the new Arkansas City Fire Station, including associated exhibits and total compensation for design build and pre-construction services not to exceed $472,500, and authorizing the city manager to take all actions necessary to advance the project to a guaranteed maximum price for future commission consideration.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commission, as you know, we're at that point now where we need to start getting our design put in there so we know what the price of this is going to cost us. That's where we're at, and 3 years that we've been talking, or 2.5 years that we've been talking about it. So we're at that next level to figure out where we need to go and what we're going to do. Keep it short and sweet.
This will zero in on our cost for us.
Yeah, and that's 100% to my knowledge. And even talking to Evan with Crossland, that's 100% of the guaranteed design price.
So when Crossland designs this, do we have does it have to be lot specific when they do it? I mean, because we don't really know where we're going to put it yet.
It's yes, and I'm going to say it's easier to go with that route because then we know what we're dealing with when it comes to the land portion of it. So what that's going to end up being, whether it entails a sewer, water line, where that's going to be at, where the exits are going to be, all those things are going to take place in that design process. If we have to raise land, drop land, if we have to buy more land, all those things come into consideration. So that's a lot of the reasons why when we put that in there, we had 2 lots and that the city already owned it. So that would keep the price down. And then putting that out for everybody to give a good vote on and get the word from the people in town. So it would help having that area.
How soon would they need to know that?
I can ask and get you an answer.
But I mean, the size of the station is not going to change that much off of where we're going to put it.
No, because we did talk about even trying to lower the cost down by doing 2 separate buildings
Right.
if we needed to, so that, we can take grass rigs and boat and things like that, and not have to heat that, well, cool that building in the
Sure.
summertime, but we can heat it. And those are ones that are temporary and used.
But no matter what lot we're gonna choose,
Yeah.
it's gonna, the design is gonna be able to fit either one.
Yeah, it would just be, we would know what the expense of that would be.
Right.
So we could still move forward with how we're going to
Right.
design, what we need to do. The only part that's going to be a holdup is what we need underneath.
This actually is step one to being able to present a proposal to the citizens. If I
100%.
look at this correct.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we can't, we have no idea what funding looks like until we have a design and a cost. And
right.
To be honest, we have to accept this, or we just say, okay, we're not doing a part of it.
Right.
Well, and correct me if I'm wrong, this was already part of the.
Right.
I mean, it's not that we're talking about new money here.
Yeah.
This was budgeted into.
Yes,
so-
yes, this has been budgeted.
Yeah.
We already have a pretty solid idea what it would cost to renovate the existing facility.
Right.
And it's, from what we can tell, it's pretty close to what it's going to cost to build new. So we need to go down this path and see.
Right. Right. But we need our facts to present. So, yeah, I agree with that.
I'm gonna make a motion that we accept this resolution to, as written, for $472,500.
I will second that.
We've got a motion and a second to approve the resolution.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Public Services Department.
A resolution authorizing the city of Arkansas City to accept a bid submitted by Smith and Sons for the purchase of two 2025 Kubota mowers to use for the cemetery shop in an amount not to exceed $35,600.
That's you, Connie.
Yeah. You did such a good job Friday.
This is tough on me up at the podium. So our mowers are 10 years old, 2016, and we got two bids. And the cheapest one was from Schmidt and Sons for $35,600. But they're last year's model, but they're brand new and they still have the same 2-year warranty. And we'll put the old ones up for sale on Purple Wave.
The Kubotas, that's the ones we have right now, too.
Yes, yes.
On the other bid, was it the same Kubota also, or was it different?
Yeah, no, they're the same.
Okay,
60-inch rear discharge.
Okay. so we're just replacing the old.
Yes,
And they're still diesels.
Huh?
Still diesels?
yes.
Yeah, cool.
How many hours are on them? Roughly.
10 years
Yeah.
at
Lots.
40 hours a
Yeah.
week.
Yeah. I didn't even check. We had the covers off of them the other day and I didn't even check.
Just curiosity.
Hey, Connie, I have a question. So with
I know what mine did.
mowing the abatement properties and things like that, would it be a good idea to maybe keep one of these for that?
Absolutely. They're
The
both
old
good
ones.
mowers. I mean,
So
They're 10
maybe
years
instead
old,
of
but-
selling both of them, we might evaluate keeping one for the abatement properties and things of that nature.
yep.
And I was gonna say, I know I'm a street guy, but might check with the street department, see if they got any mowers that are, I know when I was there, they had some that they were just piecing together, and so even an older mower might be a good addition for them.
These are Z's.
Okay.
Yeah. So they're not like 4-wheel drives or.
Yeah, I think, but don't they use them on the walking trail there?
Absolutely. As long as you
Yeah,
keep the
up on the
grass
dike.
mowed, they'll,
Right.
yeah.
Up on the dike, or a couple of them that we've got as well. Yeah,
Yeah, my thought on the abatement properties is sometimes it's hard.
they're rougher.
Yeah, and there's
Right.
sometimes
And you don't know
debris
what's
and
in there.
Yeah, there's
Right.
debris and stuff. And so you don't want to run in there.
Knock it down.
Yeah, if the grass gets that tall, it's kind of tough on them.
But the exit plan on the mowers doesn't affect the.
Right.
No,
Those
no,
are- no, okay.
Can I move?
In just a second, we're about to get rid of you. Go ahead.
I move that we approve the resolution that was presented.
I second it.
Got a motion and a second to approve the resolution. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Thank you, fellas.
You're welcome.
Got it. City manager updates and reminders.
On March 5th, we were invited to meet with Senator Marshall staff, SBA, and USDA in Wellington for a business and community development roundtable. So it was a good time to learn more about what USDA has to offer, not only for like the city's needs, but also for local businesses and things of that nature. And that same with SBA. They had good staff there representing SBA, and so we learned we got some contact information. So if we know of any local businesses that may need some assistance, obviously the banks know this stuff too, but a lot of times we'll be approached to buy it, so we can at least kind of get those folks hooked up and with some of the SBA programs that are available, specifically around the disaster relief and things of that nature. On March 9th, we had the fire station open house where I think we had about 50 folks come in and look around and see what's going on there. And the fire department, the firefighters and the EMS folks, they cooked up a wonderful batch of hot dogs, and there was cake and all kinds of stuff. So it was a good time. And I think hopefully people kind of learned what's going on there and the conditions that are going on in the station. On March 11th, Mayor Stover and Commissioner Calhoun, Josh, myself, and Josie went to Topeka and picked up the CBG awards at the ceremony there. We were the only city in the state this year to get 2 grant awards, and the checks are here. I haven't got them to the bank yet, but we got the $628,000 for the CBGG Park improvement and the $300,000 for the housing renovation grant. So we're excited to get going on those, and you guys have been approving a lot of things here lately to get those things on the roll. And then on March 12th, the department heads and myself had a chance, and Mayor Stover had a chance to meet with one of Senator Marshall's staff members. Again, they were following up from that meeting we had on the 5th, and just learning more about Ark City and kind of what our needs are here. And then on March 13th, Commissioner Lundgren and I attended a REAP meeting in Wichita, learning about data centers and kind of what the ins and outs of those. There was not only cities that have like DeSoto and Pryor, Oklahoma, that have navigated that stuff, and kind of just what's required of them, what's really the impact on the city from those. And there's different sizes and levels of data centers. There's some that you wouldn't even know exist, and then you got the big ones that everybody gets upset about. But we learned about the needs of water needs and things like that are required for them. So it was a pretty good informative session, and it's about facts and not about emotions. So it's good. And on your tables, I have a flyer for the Cherokee Strip Land and Rush Museum has a lunch and learn about Strother Field on March 19th, and they invited you, and it looks like they invite you out to be their guest out there. So if you have time, it looks like it's over noon on March 19th. It looks like they have lunch. So, and then on March 24th, as part of the housing grant, we have our open CBGG open house for the contractors at 5 p.m. So we'll invite contractors in and see if they would be interested in participating in the projects. And then at 5:30, we'll have the applicants. We've already invited them, sent out postcards inviting them for a meeting about the application process. So those folks that have already filled out pre-apps, and now it's time to fill out the applications. And so we'll have.
You said it was March 24th?
Yes.
And where's that going to be located?
Here.
Right here.
We had about 70, a little over 70 pre-apps. So we have a good mix of folks, and so we should be able to achieve this grant pretty quickly. On March 26th, Wade Magnus's retirement party is to be here in this room at 1 to 3. So if you can stop in and wish him well in his retirement, and there'll be some cake or something too.
That's the first I'd heard that he was ready to retire.
Yeah.
been planning for a little bit.
Don't we have to accept that?
I don't know if it'll do any good. It can go.
He's a good guy.
And then on the on the splash pad, the concrete's poured now, so it's over there curing. And so it'll be done well before. Well, of course, this weekend will be warm enough, I think, for splash pad. Won't be quite ready for that, but by the time Memorial Weekend rolls around, when the traditional pools and stuff open, it'll be well past and ready to go. Again, on the pickleball court, that starts April 15th. Everything's kind of rolling like it's supposed to. And on the playground equipment for Wilson Park, again, you guys just approved those things tonight to get that rolling and keep the design moving on that. Again, the goal is to have the equipment installed and all through the process and equipment installed by late October. That's our goal there. And we got our property and liability insurance renewal in. There was a 9% increase over last year, but a couple of things. This building and what another building, I can't remember which one it is now, were undervalued, and so they needed to bring the value, the replacement value up. Which, if this building were to be destroyed, we wouldn't replace it exactly like it is. So it's not really. I mean, we wouldn't replace it with something that would cost this much anymore. But regardless, we have to insure it for replacement costs. So it was a pretty good increase in the value of replacement. And there was one other building that saw an increase too, and I don't remember which one it was right now. And then we were pretty fortunate. The deductibles and all that stayed the same as last year. So we're pretty fortunate. We still have a $50,000 wind hail deductible on our facilities. So that stayed in place. Other than that, there was a few, a lot of things stayed flat, some things went up, but at the end of the day, it was a 9% increase over last year, which was, it's in our budget. So we're good to go there. We'll probably need to have a special meeting because that renewal is April 1st, and we don't have a work session or another meeting before then. So if you guys are willing, we'll, as soon as we get the renewal paperwork in, we'll have a quick special meeting over a lunch and just to approve that insurance renewal so we can get that going. And I guess I should also say they did go out and shop the policy. Again, there's not a lot of companies that insure cities. So this was the most competitive of those that would even quote us. So. And on your table is the monthly PEC update. So there's really anything spectacular, just kind of an update of where we're at on our projects with them.
So did we get turned down by KDOT on Summit Street again?
Yeah. So we'll look at that and reapply again. We had one several years ago. There's a big demand for the cost share grants and not a lot of money. So they're competitive. So we'll just keep trying. Eventually our number gets pulled again.
And you're asking about the North Summit?
From Radio Lane to Skyline.
The C-CLIP grant for Madison, so it'll be from 8th Street out to the bridge. All that design work's in now with KDOT, and so that'll be sometime this summer. I don't have a date yet. It hasn't gone out for bid, but it'll be going out for bids here in the next several weeks. So, and then we also will probably be putting another application in for another C-CLIP grant for from the bypass south to the bridge. The C-CLIP grants are for state highways within the city limits. And then the cost share grants that Commissioner Tweedy was talking about are again KDOT grants, but they don't have to be for state highways or state roads. We can use those for other roads within the city.
Is there any kind of guarantee that we get on that? Because I know when we did that south from the bypass to the South Bridge, within 2 or 3 months, right there by that Poor Boys recording, it was all cracked up and beat up, and I thought, man, they should have to come back and fix this.
There was one spot on that stretch, but I think it was more in front of the monuments.
Yes,
That popped up and they came back and fixed it. But
Yeah, there was a bunch of ripples in the road when they did
I
that.
just feel like maybe that somebody ought to combine and do an inspection and a sign off on their work.
well, they do part of the engineering services. We'll have to hire an engineer for those grants to design the mill. and
Let that
overlay.
engineer know that Commissioner Beeson would like to do it a little right along with him, and he can explain some stuff that we
Yeah.
see as we go.
And yeah, and the,
Sure, he'll be excited about that.
along with that, they do inspection. They do
Scare me.
inspect. So not saying they catch everything.
I'm just saying, we ought to send somebody along, because I mean, man, those cracks came quick. It was frustrating.
So we had you'll probably see a bunch of activity around town, but AT&T is doing a fiber build out now. So for community wide, so we'll have two community wide fiber options here in the near future. And then the other reminder is just make sure you check out the financials in the back of the packet. Everything's obviously we're still early in the year, but everything's looking good so far. So that's all I got.
Okay. Items for discussion by city commissioners. Anybody have anything?
Can I do have a question. What's the latest status on the building with the fencing around it? Yeah, on Summit. What's the latest there? The last I heard anything was an email sent by our previous code inspector and no response. Are we still there?
So I'll share just briefly. So I did meet with that property owner, probably been about a month ago now, or close to a month. And she was agreeing to get with her engineer. Obviously, we'll let somebody do their own engineer. Let them come up with a plan of action to fix it, and they were going to follow up with them at the end of March. That's what we put in the system to
Okay.
to handle.
End of March, okay.
Was she gonna sell that place?
My understanding is that fell through
Okay.
because I did ask that.
Okay.
So at the end of March, we're just going to talk again. So do we have I don't know.
You want some action plan?
Well, is there a deadline on this whole thing? What happens at this point? If nothing happens, what's the next steps? That's my question. Because I'm getting asked about it, so
The
I don't know how to
next
answer
point
it.
At that point, we probably have to go to demolition or some sort of court action if we didn't want to go that far. But we've already declared it a dangerous structure, so we're on
So
track
can
to
we
do that.
legally put a deadline on this
Sure.
conversation?
I think that's reasonable.
I mean, do we want to do that? I'm just tossing it out there. I
Talking out loud.
Talking out loud.
We could do that during a Friday work session,
Mm-hmm.
because it may take a little longer. Just discuss it there and then come to a decision in the next meeting on what we'd like to do on that. Does that sound fair? Or-
Yeah, no, he should have some more information here soon, and hopefully, yeah, I think there needs to be a resolution on it soon. It's been dragging out, and you know,
that's my point. The people are asking me, and because I'm the new guy, and I don't know the answers, so I just want to be able to tell them something. So
we do have ongoing expenses. We're as a city, we put the fence out to protect the public from
right.
if whoever's be the front would fall, and so that's an ongoing monthly expense. You know, obviously, it'll get at some point it'll be assessed to the property.
Yeah, it is being billed. We are billing that expense back to them.
Anybody else with anything?
I'd just like to mention the train show on Saturday,
Mhm.
at 9 o'clock till 4. Usually well attended. Guys have a good setup going. So everybody attends.
Agribusiness building?
Agribusiness.
We'll be setting up tables on Friday.
Friday at 11. Yeah.
Oh, Mr. Mayor, I forgot something. The work session that falls on Good Friday, and we're closed Good Friday. So that's what I was. Do we want to schedule a work session for
Thursday.
another day? I don't know what's on the agenda, whether there's anything worth. We could go Thursday
The
or
Thursday? Look at that.
That would depend on what's on the agenda, whether we can skip it or not.
That'd be Thursday the 2nd.
Okay. calendar in front of me.
I can make
Know
that
where it
work. I'll
is.
be in town.
I think I'm in town.
Take a look at it and see what it is at that. And if it's not
You in
much,
town?
maybe we'll-
My boss will kick me out of the house.
All right. Nothing else?
I don't think so.
Comments from the audience? Anybody signed up?
Yes. Jeff Bluebaugh would like to speak about Wilson Park.
Good evening, gentlemen, commissioners,
Evening.
mayor.
Mhm.
Tonight is interesting because I want to talk about family. Families bring a city together. Families have generations. 2019, we had a rash of suicides, and it increased to a point I told myself, I said, we can't just stand by and watch this happen. So through a lot of prayer and persistence, it's amazing. God has put together myself and others, and we've created, I don't know if you guys have heard, a group, all volunteers, Hope Initiative. And what we do is there are over 40 musicians and singers. And what we do is we are addressing the youth. The Lord has laid it on our heart to utilize music, positive music, to go to the youth and get to their hearts and get to their minds and change the way they think and feel. And we're starting to get great traction right now. I spoke to Mr. Holloway about that a while back, and he seems to see a little bit of difference happening. My thoughts are here, though. It's beautiful, though, that it kind of dovetails into what you guys are talking about, a day of prayer. And you said a week of music. Well, this goes right hand in hand with what we're doing. I want to ask you guys to be thinking about something. The Wilson Park, geographically, it's pretty close to the center of the city. I truly feel that that park, the rest of it, needs to be an indoor arena designed for music. Around it, inside, you have different rooms for training up new musicians and singers, and it will change the whole atmosphere of the city. You know, it's instruments, it's singing, it's vocals. It's just absolutely amazing. We've seen a fantastic, great start already. So I just want you all just to keep, and I could go on for hours with this stuff. And the testimonies that are coming out of this about these young ladies said, we've never heard of you, but we came tonight and oh my goodness gracious, I was thinking about these thoughts, but now I have something else on my mind. And we just tell them, don't take that pen out of God's hand because he's not done writing your story yet. Okay? You are beautifully and wonderfully made for a time as this. And you guys make the difference. Guys, if we lose this generation, we've lost the city, we've lost the county, the state, and we've lost the country. So I'm just here for you guys to maybe be thinking about things with that. Maybe we can come together on something. It's just really been on my heart heavy. And I think there's a reason why it's been sitting there vacant for this long. So keep your hearts open, keep your minds open, and just be thinking about it, please. And thank you for your time. I appreciate it very much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Jeff, I got just a quick question.
Yes.
Do you have any idea of how big of a facility you'd be interested
I
in?
want 5,000 seat.
So we're gonna. Hey, my heart is open.
Come on.
But I'm a negotiator.
You would like to see an indoor concert hall
Absolutely.
with rooms for training.
Absolutely.
If I'm understanding what you're saying.
Absolutely. And not only grow up our own,
Mhm.
but we can bring in others, from across the country right here. Guys, there's a reason why Ark City is purple and gold. That's royalty. Okay? The Father wants something special to happen here. And the nickname for our Kansas City is Ark City. Jesus is the Ark, so just saying. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
And next we have Tammy Rutzer. And she would like to talk about cleanup done by the city on behalf of Carol Horton.
I agree.
Amid all this positive stuff going on, we just got our little complaint, or we're just trying to get some more information about a cleanup that happened at one of our rental houses. It was people were evicted, and at the same time they took pictures and sent in that we needed to do the cleanup, which we thought we did. We hired someone to do that, and then they did pictures again. I just got these 2 days ago. All the rest of the pictures from like October 10th and October 25th, and anyway, they kind of, a month later, after October 25th, they did the cleanup. Like a month later, they did the paper saying for them to do the work. And then not till December 31st did she get the letter saying they did the cleanup. So we was under the impression that it was already done. But I just
Is this
wish
the
I
city,
had
you're
everything
saying the
figured
city
out.
came and did cleanup?
They did the cleanup within the 10-day order that they're supposed to, but then nothing was signed on it. It wasn't signed that the construction company.
Who's
signed it.
they?
Yeah.
Like the city?
Josh, do you know anything about this?
Yes, it would have been cleaned up by our contractor.
Yeah, the King's,
Okay.
King's Construction or something.
Where's this
They never
property at?
signed the thing, but like for one instance, there's like a whole bunch of tires in one picture, and it's like 30 days went by from the time the pictures were taken to the time that they cleaned up everything. Somebody had just dumped all that stuff there. I mean, it's just it's inconsistent with the pictures. Like I know there was a pile of wood there that the guy that we hired, he took to my house. It's in the pictures, and I know that was my my specific wood. But I just wonder if there was any way to get more details about how they came to this conclusion that took 24 hours to clean up the little bit of the picture in the pictures that they had. Because $100 an hour, we're having an issue now trying to sell this house because they tagged it all onto the taxes of $2,700, and it's just it's just not it's just not consistent. It's just not right.
Where's this
Something's
property
right.
at?
It's at 1905 North 11th.
1905.
Yeah, because there were renters there when they took the pictures originally, which they didn't show those in the pictures they just sent me. But they was at the front where they were moving out, but then they did leave, stuff to pick up that was cleaned up. But then they also, there was a couple sheds there that had stuff in them that they cleaned them out. And there was no reason for them to even touch anything in those sheds. They were falling down sheds, yes, but they needed repaired. But it was some of my grandma's stuff. And so they loaded all that up. I guess that's where the time.
Tammy, have you been to talk to Josh at all about this?
No.
Hey, I
I
understand.
think we tried to make a appointment with Randy, but I think we missed
And I do want to say,
a couple times.
I did fulfill the records request and gave her all of the information
Yeah, oh,
from
okay.
the community
Well,
development department.
thank you,
And
thank
I
you.
did provide her the number to the community
Here would
development
be my
department.
suggestion.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Here would be my suggestion. Give these gentlemen, I mean, we are now aware of it as on the commission. Can we give these gentlemen a moment to get with you? I mean,
Yeah.
give them a month to talk with you, work out and answer any questions. And then if you have any questions after that, contact one of us or all of us.
Yeah.
And we'll see what we can do. Does that sound fair, Josh or Andy?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm a big fan of giving the opportunity to do the right thing.
Yeah, I know we tried to. I was like, let's just go up there and see.
Okay. Yeah. Get an appointment with these guys, and then if you're still not satisfied, come give us a holler.
One thing, I had to addict in the first place.
Right.
And so they kind of.
Pour it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Right.
Scared away. But lately I haven't removed anything after they moved out from the property for 90 days.
Because it was theirs.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I get with Josh and Randy and see if you can come get some answers at least that way.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Anyone else?
No one else?
Yeah.
I move that we adjourn. Second.
Got a motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Thank you.
I do have a couple